What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Pizzo Pod. And in huge news and exciting news, the next Black Ops 6, or the conclusion of the Black Ops 6 DLC, The Reckoning, has been announced, and we have a lot of details to go through. So let's go through it and let's just see what we got going on. So it starts off with showing the whole season roadmap. So obviously we see all the maps that are coming to multiplayer, Warzone mechanics, stuff like that. And then my big, obviously, focal point is the zombies. So let's kind of scroll down and go over to the zombies section so we can see what we're looking at. Why am I scrolling all the way through it? We got it right here. Okay, so let's go down. It did not take me to the zombies, even though I clicked on it. All right, here we go. So I'm just going to read this through just so you guys can get an idea of what they're describing it as. So the reckoning arrives. Avoid an Appalachian apocalypse as the assault on Janus Towers begins and the long-brewing conflict between Richtofen and Sam reaches a turning point. Flexing the Gorg effects. This is the new wonder weapon of the map. It looks crazy. We'll look at that in a little bit. And then we have obviously the additional gameplay content. So Grief obviously is going to be getting a lot more stuff. Directed mode obviously will come out mid-season. And then, yeah, so let's see what else. Some new stuff like Mr. Peak's field upgrade. Kind of a cool field upgrade, to be honest. I'm glad it's not a field upgrade that we've gotten like in Cold War previously. A creative idea. I think it's cool to have like some of these more themed field upgrades, and I hope we get more creative field upgrades going forward in Black Ops 7. So they got a lot of this redacted. Living over the once sleepy settlement of Liberty Falls, the Project Janus headquarters, 3 edifices known locally as Janus Towers now teeters on the verge of collapse. Constructed between blank and blank, this vast and vertical facility is separated into blank, with Ethereum slowly being released into redacted, enormous reactors, blank, limitless power, but at a price. The tower systems seem to be critically damaged and total failure is imminent. Stabilizing the ether reactor seems to be the initial overriding goal before even greater threats must be faced. Prepare to confront cosmic chaos in the last chapter of the Black Ops 6 narrative, launching at the start of Season 5. All right, so obviously this sounds crazy. I don't think this is going to be the last season for Black Ops 6. I do think we're going to get one more because Black Ops 7 drops in November, but we're obviously not going to get a new map for Season 6. This is going to be the last map. We might get some new features or something more just to add on to it, but nothing new in terms of the story. So yeah, let's see. So, assuming no comms interference, expect Peck, Ravenov, and Strauss to provide valuable support, with Raptor 1 always skybound to exfil should the situation go even more sideways. But what of Dr. Pericles Panos? So that's a huge mention. We haven't heard from him. We have heard from him in some of the audio files, but he's going to be returning in this map, but we're kind of going to get that story kind of wrapped up. So that's exciting. Who sacrificed Alpha Team to return himself to the Dark Ether? And Security Chief John Blanchard, last seen pursuing Panos into the towers. Then there's both Sam and Director Richtofen. So obviously this map is going to be about them two fighting against each other. We're going to figure out what's going to happen in result of their fight. We have had a lot of leaks that kind of suggest that Richtofen, Takio, Dempsey, and Nikolai are going to be coming back, which is going to be awesome. I think it's going to add so much to have them back into the map. All right, so they give us next a little bit of the initial recon tour. This gives me a lot of vibes of Classified. I know a lot of people have been saying it kind of looks like 5, but I think the aesthetic is more like Classified, where it's more run down, and that looks awesome. We have some, like this area right here looks a lot like Shattered Veil, like that underground area, which is cool because obviously they're very similar. And then you have this image redacted. Don't know what that's going to be. From the moment you stepped into the now debris-strewn lobby, it soon becomes clear that the towers have seen better days. Laboratories, wow, I said that crazy, computing and research offices and more secretive chambers may be accessed by novel means of transportation. And then we kind of go into more features. Some things blanked out. Parachutes are coming into this map. I assume I've heard that we're just going to launch into the map like in Warzone. So I assume that's going to be the extent of the parachute stuff. So let's see. This is cool how it kind of tells you further exploratory contents have been lost via unanticipated data intrusion. That's cool. Very themed. And then Uberklaus. This is a new Panzer. It looks crazy. It doesn't look like any Panzer we've gotten before. It looks more like an astronaut type thing. So that's really cool. And then we get another shot of him. I'm not going to read all this because I think it probably just more explaining Uberklaus, but you kind of get the idea here. This is like the strongest version of a Panzer that I think we've seen. It looks so enhanced by technology. And then you have the special rounds are going to be these other Klauses that are going to descend upon the map. I think it looks cool. I love when Zombies does things that are more unique. Nothing like in the other maps we've had, the Vermin, and we've had the gaseous or the toxic zombies. Those zombies are more, those bosses are more like in theme, kind of just undead animals or creatures. This is more interesting it's different. It might be not as cool, but it's something different. I'm glad that they're giving us something that's a little bit different. We have the new wonder weapon, the Gorgafex. It's more of like a natural kind of wonder weapon, kind of like the Apothecon Servant or something like that, where it's more of like a creature or like a plant type thing. Get a good look at it right here. You can see it kind of gets reloaded through this little back area right here, and it looks really cool. It looks like a plant of some sort. Kind of reminds me of the Zetsubo no Shima plants. And then it kind of gives you more of an idea of what it does. It does like a explosion, and then it has like an area of effect around it. And then we got the final skin that we'll win for this when we do the Easter egg. It looks pretty cool. Probably the worst one out of all of them. It's cool that it's got the little zombie mechanized head, and then we've got some of these vials. Wonder what those vials are for. Reminds me of the blood vials. But let's see what else. Got a cool shot of Maya jumping into that kind of particle accelerator type thing with the zombies coming after her. Unstable gravity. This is a huge thing that I've seen, which is pretty cool. Reminds me of Drak, where they have that anti-gravity area. I hope they go just as far with it and kind of make it interesting, just like how they did in Drak. So that's really cool. Teleporters, obviously, that's something we've seen in other maps. There's not really much to go there. Anti-gravity personnel launchers, a novel and likely completely safe means of transport. I wonder what this is for. The launchers create a focused tunnel of gravity. Okay. Don't know what that's for, but we're going to see more when the map comes out. We got the traps, the caster turret, and stands for the cognitive and adaptive system for target elimination and reinforcement turret. Are you serious? That's the whole name? Okay, the whole name is long, but this is a pretty cool turret. And one thing I think is really interesting is you have all this stuff from the tomb. These little natural growing plants that come from the tomb map, which was set in the Dark Aether. Part of it was, at least. So that's cool that we're getting kind of more of like, it's the overgrowth is coming through our world. That's really cool. Then obviously we have these LTMs that are going to come back. That makes sense. It is cool that we're seeing this logo in the map, which was used, I believe. It was either used for the Sam or the Richtofen logo in the Grief thing. So it's in the Grief game mode. So it's cool to have this kind of in the front. Gives it kind of the map kind of personality. Directed mode, obviously we all know about that. It gives us another image of these little Klaus things. They obviously can fly. As we can see, they have these little thrusters coming out. They're a cool design. I do think they're pretty intimidating looking just from what we've seen. And then we have the Mr. Peaks field upgrade, which is going to be an event reward, just like how it's been for the last previous seasons. It's kind of been described as like a monkey bomb type thing, more so akin to like the homunculus for Black Ops 4, where you throw it out and it attracts the zombies, but it also kills them while it's there. So that's cool. And then we've got some of the upgrades. So let's go through some of the upgrades. So the major augments are Dance Party. Mr. Peaks becomes the life of the party, attracting nearby zombies to him before he detonates an ether pulse to thin out the crowd considerably. So that's cool. I guess so. Now I'm starting to think, okay, so let's read through. Throws Harry Helper into the fray and he gleefully attracts. Okay, so what is this? I guess this because this is a augment, but it just basically describes the field upgrade. But okay, we'll see. Maybe it's that it has a stronger pulse. Mr. Peaks has become, or this one's Arcane Fury. Mr. Peaks has become a master of the elements, enhancing his regular damage with a random ammo mod. That's pretty cool. So you won't be able to set it. It'll just be a random ammo mod, just like Elemental Pop. Apex Hunter. Mr. Peaks focuses all attacks on the strongest nearby enemies other than bosses. That's pretty good. That will probably be really strong, and especially in the later rounds, if it is actually a usable field upgrade, you'll use it against them later in higher rounds. Minor augments, Social Butterfly, increase Mr. Peaks' attraction radius. Peaks Favor, Mr. Peaks is good to have mystery blocks to give you a free spin. Party Animal, increase Mr. Peaks' dance duration. So those are not as good, but obviously, like, Peaks Favor is more of like a gimmick, but the other two kind of just are normal minor augments that just kind of extend certain parts. And then there's a leaderboard event. Compete for top placement in the Reckoning leaderboard event. Play a zombies match on the Reckoning map to earn leaderboard points and rack up eliminations to earn leaderboard points. So basically, you'll just unlock rewards. I think that's pretty cool to have in the game. And then, yeah, so let's go over to here. We have a little bit of a gameplay trailer posted by the Gaming Revolution. I'm pretty sure this is just the video I clicked on. So let's kind of go through and see what we got. Down a little bit. So one thing that I do have a big critique on is I hate that these trailers, the first thing they think about is showcasing the new operator skins. I feel like if we're doing zombies, let's focus on the story. Let's focus on actually showing off the map, and I think it would be a lot cooler if we had like an opening cutscene again. But you know, it is what it is. Okay, let's go. Okay, let's see, because this is more of a, looks like a, here we go. So we kind of got gameplay going. This top area, I don't think this is actually, I'm trying to find the part where it goes to, let's see. Okay, so this part isn't shown till the end. Okay. So here's the zombies. This is awesome. You get a great look at the entire map. So now we're seeing that you're going to parachute in. That's so cool. I'm glad. I know it's a Warzone mechanic, but it is really cool to see these kind of newer kind of integrations of some other mechanics brought into zombies. I don't have a problem with this at all. I know a lot of people are going to be annoyed that it's a Warzone mechanic, but it does look really cool and it fits with zombies. One thing that's important to note about this map is it's really vertically inclined. So that's something that's like we haven't seen since like Die Rise. But I think that's a really cool thing to play around with, the verticality instead of the horizontality of a map. But honestly, I hope they do it a lot better than Die Rise, but it looks really cool.
Oh, you and I are gonna make some sweet, sweet music.
So like this whole top area looks a little bit more clean. Obviously there's a lot of stuff that's been destroyed, but definitely cleaner than what we'll get to later at the bottom of the map. So this is probably, we'll probably spawn in, dive in to the bottom, and those doors will be closed. Like we'll have to buy the doors to actually get into the towers. One thing I also wonder, is every tower going to be a part of the map? I don't know if they explain that at all in the COD thing, the list of all the features. I don't think it did, but we went through them, so I'm not sure. But it will be cool if every tower will be its own part of the map. That'll be really cool.
Oh, you and I are gonna make some sweet, sweet music.
Ass-kicking mode.
So we got Mecha Klaus right there. We get kind of a look at him. Let's meet it real quick. So you kind of got to look at Mecha Klaus right here. Looks really big, really buff, and then it cuts to, I don't know why she's like, okay, here we go. Get a good look at him right there. And that's really, I think that's all we get. Looks like it's all we get, but that's pretty cool. And then we've had some teasers too, which kind of toy with the fact that it's more of a, like they're trying to kind of harken back to like Black Ops 2 and Black Ops 1. So let's pull those up. We can pull some of those teasers up. So we got this one. This one is pretty cool. This one shows off Mecha Klaus or Uber Klaus. I keep calling him Mecha Klaus, but so we got this little part right here, obviously using the shaky cam. And then we got him who just jumps down, punches. Pretty cool. There's not much to talk about when it comes to these teasers. They're more just kind of like to show off kind of what their style of the map is going to look like. So this one's really cool. I love this. It looks so cool. I love the vibe. And you've got all these mechanized robots kind of hanging from the ceiling. And then you kind of cut away. You see this huge beam, which I assume this is where Primus is going to come in. Somehow they'll come out of that, but we'll see. And they fall in. Where does that go? Does that go to the Dark Ether? We don't know. Got stuff like this where he falls down. Pack of punches right here, right next to it. Pretty cool. And let's check out the last teaser. I know there's one more. Oh, clicking onto the wrong video. Here it is. Here's the last teaser. Shows you kind of that classified inspiration. Looks so cool. I love that these trailers are so eerie. They're so different in comparison to like how the map usually is. Like it really leans into the horror of it. And then you get to see all these plants. This really makes me wish that we had a zombies mode where it was like body cam footage, where like everything looks like a body cam with the flashlight. I think that'd be so cool. And I think if I was at the head of zombies, that's where the future would be for me. I would make it like a body cam with like the flashlight and stuff, and everything's kind of like moody. I think that'd be so cool. Then you kind of get this look at another zombie, obviously. Really cool though. Really awesome. I'm really excited for the map. I think it's going to be great. I know I'm probably in the minority, but I'm really into how BO6 has been doing their zombies and their content. I think it's been awesome. And I think we have a bright future. I think Black Ops 7 bringing back the new character or the old characters and stuff like that is going to be huge. And I really hope this map is able to kind of wrap things up and give us a really cool ending to the Black Ops 7 life cycle. But yeah, you guys let me know what you think of the new content drop. What do you think about what they're teasing us on? What do you think about the storyline, where it's going? What do you think about the new features? Let me know in the comments, and yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you for watching.